Hey everyone, Colbert here with another Racial Legends video. Guys, today we're gonna do a guide on Venus. If you guys don't know already and you haven't seen the community post at it on my YouTube, I actually managed to pull Venus off video. I was just pulling void shards in order to get that extra points for the summon event that we had a few days ago when the 2x sacreds was actually on. So I was pulling voids. I think I pulled 2 or 3 voids just to get enough points to get the 2,000 points reward, I think. And I was just sitting there and watching the screen, and then suddenly Venus. I was so amazed at this. And if you guys don't know already, Venus is an amazing champion. Just look at the reviews, 4.9 on everything. The other ones are 4.6 is the lowest. I mean, yeah, there's a reason for that. She's a void champion, support champion. I have her with some gear. It's not the best gear available, but for me, it actually works so far. But I'm gonna try and improve it as much as I can in the future when we have more events. So the way I've built Venus is I've got a lifesteal here and and a speed set on her. I try to focus on defense because she's a support champion, not a defensive champion. So I try to get as much defense as possible in order for her to last longer in the clan boss, because that's where I use her mostly. I also use her everywhere now. Yeah, but I want her to be the best possible in the clan boss. So her gear is lifesteal. With the stats focusing on staying above 170 speed, 172 actually, above 172, and getting enough accuracy for her to not get resisted. No chance for her to get resistance. So she's at 310 accuracy right now. I've got a bit of critical rate on her and some critical damage, and I'm trying to increase those as well without decreasing her defense. So lifesteal weapon here has basically more critical rate and accuracy. Then the helmet has some speed. I use this for the speed actually to reach 172 speed. Defensive shield, I have it here with high critical rate, some speed, and some accuracy. I use this for the critical rate. Gloves and chest both have defensive primary, 60% on the gloves, a good amount of speed, 17 plus 1, some HP, that's okay. And the primary on the chest plate is defense again, accuracy, critical rate, good subset rolls. And the other 2 rolls are good as well. So it's a good chest, but it's a 5-star. I would like to get a 6-star, like in all my gear. And the boots are also defensive boots because I actually have a lot of speed through my other gear. I'm able to get defensive boots. So I have lifesteal boots here. Ideally, I would get some speed here in order to sacrifice it somewhere else. But these are the only, I think, defensive lifesteal boots I have right now. I need to farm a lot of dragon, and I'm going to do that. So her ring is defense again, HP, some attack here, defensive, and defensive amulet as well. You can go for critical damage, but that would sacrifice a lot of defense for me, and I want her as tanky as possible for that clan boss. Same thing with the banner. I try to get a bit of defensive stats here, but this has a lot of speed on it, so this is the one I use. It's a 6-star banner, very nice, 96 accuracy. I have the Great Hole maxed out for accuracy. So this is why I get to 310 accuracy. I know this is an overkill, but I actually had resists at 280. So I don't want to risk it with her. She's a great champion. I don't want to risk any of her skills getting resisted. So look at this defense, 46,000 health. Defense at 3.6k. This can actually go higher if I get some 6-star boots and chest. The speed is 172, so she's above Skullcrusher. Critical rate 79%, critical damage 83. And the rest are those I said before. This is the gear I use for her. I'm gonna show you her skills quickly. So if you don't know already, her A1 attacks one enemy twice. Each hit has a chance, 50% chance to place a 5% poison for 2 turns. This is very nice, a basic attack. So with the counter attack buff on her, she's able to apply that poison buff. Well, it's a percentage chance to apply, but she's able to apply it consistently on the target. So this is a very nice A1 on her, and it actually hits pretty good from what I noticed. I have her fully maxed out, so all her skills are maxed out. So her A2, this is the one that makes her like an A-star, S tier, whatever you want to call it. Attacks all enemies. It's a 3-turn cooldown. Attacks all enemies, 75% chance to decrease defense and weaken debuff for 2 turns. These are the best versions of decreased defense and weaken. It does not say here, but it's the 25% weaken and 60% decreased defense. It's fully maxed out, so this is 100% actually. So yeah, this is great. Every 3 turns, you apply debuff for 2 turns. With the masteries, this goes for 3 turns. Ideally, you have this constantly on the target. And then her A3 attacks all enemies. 50% chance to place an HP burn debuff for 2 turns. Very nice, because an HP burn debuff does a lot of damage on targets, and it goes up if you have a rare champion. The HP burn does less damage than if you have an epic or legendary champion. So with this fully maxed, this goes to 4 turns and a 75% chance to apply, plus 5% from the mastery, so this goes to 80%. It's a good chance. 4 turns cooldown, it's not bad. It could be better, but it's not bad. And of course, it has Pure Partner, removes all buffs from all enemies. I haven't actually used this yet because although I do have Cubitus, I haven't put them both in a team. I'm gonna do this for another video in the future. But removes all buffs from all enemies, very nice skill. Has a 50% chance of granting an extra turn. This is so good if it procs. Not a bad skill if you have them both together. I'm gonna see that in another video in the future, and then how she goes in the arena. And of course, her aura increases ally HP in all battles by 33%. Very nice. The best one you can have for ally health. It applies to all battles, so she's great. Let's look at her masteries. Of course, I went down the offense tree to get a War Master. If you can't see it, I went for methodical here. I should have gone actually for Kier Streak because I do use her for the dungeons as well. But instead, I went for methodical. It's okay. She uses her A1 a lot for the cloud boss. Can actually get both and sacrifice one of the 2 in support. In my opinion, I'd rather go more supportive in terms of getting two skills in the support tree rather than 2 in the offense tree. Yeah, I went for critical raid, critical damage, some heal from here from Life Drinker, not bad. And this is the basic tree for War Master. And then for the support tree, of course, I didn't go for any masteries that give me turn meter, like the Arcane Celerity or Rapid Response. Rapid Response does not apply for her because she does not give a buff. But I went for maximum accuracy, then I went for Lore of Steel to get that extra bit of speed from her speed set. You can actually go for this Cycle of Magic and sacrifice that extra bit of speed. It depends on you, on how you want to build your champion. And then Evil Eye, this is always great. It helps in the arena. It also helps in dungeons. It's always nice to have instead. It does not help for the clan boss, but for me, since I use her everywhere, I'd rather have some utility in all areas, both being the clan boss and the dungeons or arena. So Sniper, this is of course a very nice skill because not all of her skills are 100% chance to apply. So I went for Sniper, extra 5% chance to apply that poison and that HP burn. Very nice, 5%. You always want it, you want more actually, but yeah, that's the maximum you can get. And Master Hexer, this is always great when it procs, basically almost a 3rd chance to extend the duration of your debuff. So if your debuff actually goes for 2 turns, with this one, there's a chance for it to go for 3 turns. And that's great because if you have a 3-turn cooldown and a 3-turn debuff, then you can constantly have it on a boss or an enemy or whatever. Where I wanted to show you is basically, let's go for one arena match here. So guys, let's go for one arena match here. I'm going to try and find a difficult one. I don't want to go versus a Torment, although he's level 50. I don't want to go versus a Torment because I'll need to change my team. I'm just going to show you how I really like it with my Aethel. My Aethel is built like a really heavy nuker, so let's see how much damage my Aethel does here. There we go, defense down and weaken, and boom. Aethel cleared it. I was actually scared because of Lysandra. Lysandra is a very strong champion. Should I try with Torment instead? I'm gonna go Torment and Torment. Torment versus Torment. It's always, these matches are always boring, so this is why I don't like Torment. It's basically a boring match. Whoever gets bored first. So apply defense down and weaken. Reduce that turn meter with Razin. Apply provoke, hopefully. There we go. Very nice. And can we apply some HP burn? So yeah, this was extremely easy, I think, because I went basically faster than everyone else. My Razin went faster, so he managed to reduce that turn meter. So it made my life so much easier in beating this. So this is basically how I farm the arena. So Venus goes. Razin, and here with Torment, it just makes it so much easier. But I'd rather use Aethel. Aethel, she's a really good nuker, and I'd rather use her instead of anyone else. Then the next one, I'm gonna show you my Dragon 20 and how much easier it made it for me by having a defense down and a weaken. It made it so much easier. It's crazy how much easier it makes it because of defense down and weaken. You hit so much harder, especially if you have something like a Royal Guard that does an AoE damage based on max health on enemies. So if you have a Royal Guard with good gear on, then you basically clear the first 2 waves really quickly. I do not have a Prince Kymar, so I can't really do that kind of setup. But I'm gonna show you guys what I do in the dungeons. So the dungeons usually go like this. I'm gonna show you my setup for Dragons 20. So basically it's 2 Royal Guards, Venus, Arbiter there for the speed up, and Renegade there for the budget timer. So I'll show you how this basically goes. Arbiter for the boost, defense down and weaken on every single one. And then Royal Guards for the clear, hopefully. But look at that. Look how quickly, 14 seconds. If you have a Kymar, it makes it so much easier to clear. Takedown. The reason here it didn't clear that fast is because Venus didn't apply her A2. She used it twice in the first wave. If she actually uses it in this wave, this actually dies so much quicker. The good thing is here with this setup, I have Arbiter, so Arbiter is gonna resurrect my Royal Guards who are built like paper, so they die with 1 hit, like half a hit they die. So this is why I want Arbiter in there. So this is obviously like an end game setup, except Renegade. Renegade is just there because I don't have Kymar, but you get what I mean. So look at this, 1 minute. I know there's much quicker setups than mine, but given the circumstances, like this is so cool having a Venus. It made my runs so much quicker. Instead of 4 minutes, this usually goes for 2.5 minutes. 2 minutes, I did 2 minutes. So this is very nice. And if something happens and everyone dies, actually Venus can clear it because she actually has poison. She has HP burn, so it makes it so much quicker. We're going for a good run, 1.3. But look at that, Royal Guard is down. Okay, Arbiter there doing her job, resurrecting. 1.4 minutes. Don't think we're gonna do much faster than that. Unless the dragon takes a turn, he's gonna die from the poisons. Oh, there we go, 1.45. That's a good time, right? To farm Dragons 20. And that's where I need to farm. Like I need to spend like 5,000 energy because my gear needs to be 6-star. Especially now that I have Venus, it's a shame to have her with blue gear, 5-star gear. I won't show you Ice Golems and Fire Knight because she's useful there, but my other champions don't really make my runs much faster because I'm lacking on the other champions. But she does help with the waves, but the problem there is the bosses. So next up, I'm gonna show you the clan boss. I can't really do Nightmare right now because I actually did my 2 keys. I'm at max damage. Don't wanna restrict anyone else's turn to get loot. So look at how much damage I do with this kind of setup. I have Tyrell there for the lead, Venus. I've got Nethril fully maxed. I've got Grizzle Jarl and Skull Crusher. The bad thing about this setup is that I do not have someone to remove buffs from the enemy. So I'm gonna show you this team on Ultra Nightmare. This team is not modded for Ultra Nightmare. The speeds here are not good for Ultra Nightmare. So I actually need to make them faster if I wanna actually farm Ultra Nightmare, and that's my next goal. When the fusion ends and I'm able to farm more and more gear, then I'm gonna go for tuning my team for Ultra Nightmare. I should have done this earlier, but I had other projects, other videos to do. So yeah, let's go on Ultra Nightmare and see how much damage she does. So basically Tyrell goes first. Hopefully he applies attack down, but he didn't here with his A1. There we go, defense down, and we can do that extra bit of damage through War Master and Giant Slayer as always. The poison's there, no War Master proc, but that's fine. This team usually goes for about 5 minutes. The bad thing about this team though is Grizzle Jarl, because I need him to apply his decreased attack. I have him with accuracy on. I think that might be a mistake, and I might fix that in the future because he also applies the healing reduction debuff on the boss, and that actually restricts me from having full amount of poisons on the enemy. But that's fine for now. Even Skullcrusher applied his own healing reduction. He's got like 80 accuracy and he applies it on an Ultra Nightmare. I can't believe this, but whatever. This is going as usual. Although because the speed is not optimized, my turns will not be in sync with the boss. So there will be a time when the boss does his AoE and I won't have a counterattack buff on. And that's where it's going to be a problem. What we want here, guys, is to keep that decrease attack debuff on the boss. That's what we want, basically. Debuff block, that's very nice from Grizzled Jarl. Refreshing that weaken and defense down. But look at that. That one debuff there messes up my damage. It could have been so much higher. But what can you do? You need to change your team, and it won't be for this video. But look at all these poisons, guys. These are all basically because of Nethril and Venus. Both of them have a poison application on their A1. I'm going to do a video on Nethril next. So this will be actually like a good showcase of both of their damage. Nethril is very good. I also used him a bit in the arena, a bit in the dungeons. He's got some good AoEs. But what I really like about him is his A1 poisons application. It's better than Venus's. So he's also got Giant Slayer on because his A1 is 3 hit. 1, 2, 3. No Giant Slayer there, but it's fine. Grizzled Jar here applying his block debuffs. It's a very nice thing to have on. Decrease defense. Do we have a weaken on? We do not have a weaken on because heal reduction just blocked it. So you lose so much more damage. There you see Venus just lost a turn there because of the stun. And now we're going to start applying the poisons on the boss. Oh, and now the run is basically over. 4 minutes. It's not going to be too much damage. It's going to be about 10 million, I think. That's where it usually is. It varies a lot because of the speeds and because of how the poisons work, the heat reduction, blocking the damage. I think the most I did was 20 million with this kind of team. It's not bad, but it's not good either. So Venus is down. The last one standing is going to be Tyrell probably because of how much defense he has. He has like 4.5k. It's good, but it's not the best. Yeah, Tyrell is the last one. Can he do a bit of damage? No, he's dead. So how much damage did we do here in Ultra? 13 million, it's not bad. I actually done lower than this on Auto. Look at Nethril, 5 million from Nethril, and Venus did 3 million on Ultra Nightmare. The problem here was, guys, the blocking of damage through that heat reduction debuffs and not having a consistent defense down and weaken. But on Nightmare, this team does from 25 to 30 million damage. So I have to actually exit early. So that I do not get I have to actually exit early so I do not get more damage than the maximum chest until they fix that. And The problem though with this team is I do not have someone to remove buffs, so the boss applies buffs onto himself. That's a problem. It limits my damage because it basically kills my team so much earlier. So yeah, that's an area I'll need to improve also. So guys, if you like this video, leave a like down below, subscribe if you haven't already. This was my Venus guide. This was how I use my Venus. I'm gonna gear her up. I'm gonna make her much better than she actually is in the future. But for now, this is what I use on her. If you've built her differently, leave a comment down below and I'll definitely check it out. So thanks a lot guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.